Hello, welcome to Romance Book Monsters. I am Kitty Boom, and this is my co-host Lollipop. How is everyone today?
I am doing quite fabulous. I love summer, so it's my time to shine.
See, I am more of a fall person, and that seems like the shortest season of all.
I know it's like it's hot, then it's cold. That's fall.
It's like you got a little bit of color and blink and pumpkins, and it's gone.
You are not lying,
No
but
more
pumpkin spice
bitters.
seems to last forever.
I have not ever like fallen into that whole pumpkin spice thing. I should try it out.
It's in everything. You can get pumpkin spice tea, pumpkin spice coffee, pumpkin spice creamer, pumpkin spice cake, pumpkin spice ice cream. I am sick of it.
It hasn't started yet.
And I'm not looking forward to it either. And I like pumpkin spice, don't get me wrong, but it's everywhere. I'm like, can we get something else besides
Yeah,
pumpkin spice? Some cinnamon. I love cinnamon. I like cinnamon better. Can I get cinnamon this, cinnamon that? I'm just throwing that out there.
I think pumpkin spice would be like heavy on the cinnamon, no?
Fine. Don't get me wrong. I used to love a pumpkin spice latte, but I got sick of it.
See, you should have kept it as like a special thing.
It was special, only in the fall, but I even got sick of that.
Got it.
But let me tell you that peppermint one though, peppermint latte in the winter, that's what's hot.
That does sound good if I drank coffee.
No,
The
they
best,
also have like a peppermint chai tea or whatever. Starbucks make sure everybody get theirs.
the best hot beverage I ever had was like this white chocolate mint tea. So it was mint tea with white chocolate and extra mint. It was so good. I need to figure out how to make that at home.
My favorite when you think about chocolate situation would be the hot chocolate at Borders that was done by Seattle's Best. The triple chocolate hot chocolate where they had the hot chocolate and then they shaved chocolate on there and then they put the chocolate stick. I miss that so
Borders went out
much.
of business. Did Seattle's Best go out of business?
No, but they don't Seattle's Best near.
I mean, maybe you can order their hot chocolate from their store.
Will it come with the shaved chocolate and the chocolate stick and pre-made for me?
You gotta
No.
do it yourself. No.
It's the whole ambiance. And then remember, you get the warm baked chocolate chip cookie with the triple chocolate hot chocolate and a book.
Yes.
Those were the good old days. I miss Borders and wish it would come back because I don't like Barnes and Noble.
But you don't really read books anymore. It's all on your Kindle.
It would be a reason for me to go there and buy a book.
that is true. I find I only can read like regular paper books now if it's like a serious book that I need to like take notes off of. But if it's for pure pleasure, it has to be in digital form so I can get comfortable with it. If it's not, yeah, like I have a couple of good romance novels in physical form that I've gotten from like some book conferences, and I haven't cracked them open yet. And
I
it's been a
have.
long time.
I have. And there's a ton of books that I only have in paperback that I will be revisiting. I feel like we need to do a throwback paperback series.
Oh yeah, I sometimes read a Stephanie Lawrence in paperback, but even I've gotten like most of her books in digital form now. So
I haven't bought not one book I had in print in digital form. I refuse. I'm not paying twice.
see, I tell myself in my head, no, it's a different form. It's different.
I am not paying twice because the book is right there in my face. Now, granted, if I had to read it and I was somewhere away from my book, I would be tempted. But then I will find something else to read because I own that book at home.
I'm a bit compulsive. If I feel the need to read it, like I need to read it.
I understand.
So
Oh, it'd be cute. Harley Quinn presents. Old Harley Quinn presents series.
I was just reading an old Harlequin Presents on my Kindle just the other day. It was like the Greek something.
The Greek tycoon's baby, the Greek tycoon's mistress, the Greek tycoon's uh, missing
Forgot.
wife. Yes. I think we need to do that series. You let us know in the comments if you're interested, but I am here for it because I have quite a few Harlequin presents on my shelf right now.
Yes, are you a Harlequin Presents fan, Harlequin Silhouette fan? What was your favorite book? Who was your favorite author? I used to love Lucy Monroe.
Yes! Or, oh my God, what is it? Clear Mortimer? Mortimer? Oh my God. Now it's gonna like be banging in my head trying to remember some of these authors, and they were just like routine. You knew their formula and you knew it was gonna be good.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days.
The good old days. Like I even learned, some Greek words. Like I know the endearments.
That's all that matters. Cuss words and endearments.
Yeah.
And how to ask for the bathroom.
Okay, so we have gone completely off topic. Today's topic is actually we are reviewing Dream Spinner by Kristen Ashley. This is the third book in that installment. It's going to be 4 books. So there's just one more book left for this series, and I am excited to read that last book also. But today we're going to focus on this book. We're going to focus. So in Dream Spinner, the main characters are Hattie and Axl. They have all been set up in the previous book by their friend Lottie, who, once she found love, she's like, I'm going to hook up my girls with my guys' boys. Mm-hmm. That's a good friend.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
So she had 4 friends, and her guy had 4 friends. And so she claimed one for each of her gal pals and like, this is who you should be with. So we're now in the 3rd book, and Lottie says that Axl and Hattie are perfect for each other and they should be together forever. So Hattie, she has a bit of she had a traumatic childhood. Hattie had been abused by her father all her life, basically emotional and, sometimes physical. And even though that happened, like as an adult, like she still like takes care of him. He's diabetic. So, she helps out with his meals. She helps him manage his home. She basically helps assist him with his whole life, like every day, like she's doing something for her dad, even though he was and is like a complete jerk.
Douche canoe.
He is there for him. And Axl, that's something they have in common because he has a bit of a bad relationship with his father too. But their issue is more of, dad is like a big like know-it-all lawyer who like wanted his son to become what he wanted him to become, and because Axl decided to go down his own path, like the dad kind of like punishes him for it and like doesn't treat him right. So Hattie is a former trained ballerina, and they are strippers in this series. So they work for a strip club, but the strip club has decided to class it up a bit and become more of, think of the movie Burlesque.
It's a review. It's a
review.
Yes.
So it's focusing more on the dancing, and they're keeping their clothes on, and this is like right up her alley. Like the dance scenes sounds so amazing in the book. Like I wish I could like visually like see it. Like I've even like looked up the songs that they dance to so I can like at least like get that much of it. But like they sound like so amazing. Like I really wish I could like see her actual performances.
Yeah, Kristen Ashley, her understanding of how to plot those scenes is phenomenal.
It's like so descriptive. It's like, yeah, it's like you're there. And I'm like, oh, I want to see her fly across the stage, and the costumes and everything just sounds like amazing. But, I must say there is an underlying mystery that has been running through the series of bad cops. And the issues, like, it seems to be so big, like this underlying story, that I feel that it can't even be resolved within this like little series. So I'm wondering if Kristen Ashley is going to do another spinoff of this story to resolve all of that. I mean, it's one more book left, and it's a lot still undiscovered about this cop.
Mm-hmm. We might get maybe Cisco book as a standalone that kind of like nips it all in the bud, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Because I could see it coming together in 2 books.
2 books, but definitely not by this last book. Because I mean, the girls themselves in this series, and especially in this book, I feel like their own like personal stories are like so dramatic,
Mm-hmm.
and it has like so many details. It's almost like, this crime, this is like extra stuff. It's like
I
extra,
would have to agree.
and it feels a little unnecessary too. Like I've been like so interested like in their families and the drama that they have going on in their personal lives. It feels like this crime and all the other stuff is like intruding on like me getting more of that. Especially with that last book with the girl, what's her name? The last book, the girl who had like the trifling sister-in-law, like I wanted more.
Oh yeah. That sister-in-law thought she married into a rich family because of the way she was behaving.
So ridiculous. And that was book
And her brother was an idiot.
very, very much so. So it's like, yeah, their stories, like their personal stories within the stories, like so interesting. Like it's like a standalone all by itself.
Mm-hmm.
And Pepper's story in the next book, like seems like her story is gonna be like so interesting that it's not gonna really have time to like focus on this crime, or it will take away from the story, like I think.
Or it could be, she might make the book a little bit longer.
Maybe.
That would help. I mean,
Yeah.
her books are pretty decent length anyway, but she might make it a little bit longer to get where it needs to go. And I'm
Very.
fine with that. Please, good long books are my friend. Bad long
I'm
books, you can keep that. But good long books are my friend.
give them all babies at the end. So here are my highlights. Here are some of my favorite parts of this book. So, the friends are upset with Hattie. So there's this scene where Hattie is like practicing one of her dance routines, her ballet routines, and she messes up. And so she starts to abuse herself. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the friends and Axl like sees it through like the viewing window of the rehearsal room. So of course, like she stops like talking to all of her friends and Axl, she starts avoiding them. And they get kind of upset with her because she misses like an engagement party or something like that. And I kind of thought that was like so unfair because it's like really like how awkward. Like how would one, after someone has like seen you basically abusing yourself, how do you walk up to them and be like, hi, can I have a piece of cake?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like I felt like they could have been more understanding.
Mm-hmm. I
Like
thought so too.
like
I think the key is that they don't understand the mental anguish that leads to somebody hurting themselves to release that tension and to make them feel better. Because she was a little bit of a cutter, um, where she would, injure herself in different ways. Not like injure herself, but hurt herself in different ways. Um, and that's a whole psychological thing that probably stems back from her childhood on her father, pushing her to become a ballerina. Like she loved dancing, but she did not have the figure of a ballerina. She was a little bit on the thick
right.
side and not like she was overweight, but her proportions were a little bit on the voluptuous side. Think, Jessica Rabbit type
Right.
situation. She had boobs and booty, and they didn't want that for ballerina. So that's not, you've never seen a ballerina that had boobs and booty.
Right.
So it's,
And I like hate to give it away, but I mean, I was just so shocked that, it was that she like forgave the dad and they like got this good relationship because I'm like, no. Especially because when I reread the book to like take notes for it, and I read the part where he called her glorified whore for being like a dancer in the strip club. And I'm like, he was forgiven.
I wouldn't have forgave him. I mean, but some people do believe in that forgive but don't forget kind of thing. And some people
Yeah.
believe in the forgive and forget. I am none of those. I won't forgive and I won't forget.
Oh, I forget nothing.
I'm like, I will cut you out my life type person. I have no need for those type of people in my life. So for me, he would have been good and gone. For her, she still wanted her father in her life.
He's
So
been good and gone. I mean, to abuse her to the point of where she would abuse herself if he was not present.
that's how she relieved her stress. And it was terrible.
It's
It was
terrible.
absolutely terrible. And yes, I do blame him. And yes, she should not have forgiven him. But hey, that was her character. Like she was already taking care of him while he was abusing her anyway.
Right.
So,
I mean the fact that I felt that Axel's father was a little bit more redeemable, but he got written completely off, but yet, this one got to stay.
well, that's because that was Axel's decision. And it's
Yeah,
her decision to stay. Axel's decision was like, nah, we good. And I did enjoy when she cussed Axel's father out.
I
I
did too.
thoroughly enjoyed that
Oh
piece.
no, I love when Axel's mother left his father's. She was just like, "Yeah, we're at lunch, but they're moving my stuff out of the house right now." And the daddy was like, "I just came home, and your mother moved out and left me a letter after what was it, 32 years of marriage."
And that he didn't deserve nothing better than that letter.
He
Dude
was ridiculous.
knew. Treated her mama like she was his mama like she was stupid. And that woman was doing computers when no women were doing computers.
Right.
Mm-mm. She planned her escape because she had already started her little side business and have her money, separate bank account, everything. She had her clients, all that jazz. So when she was ready, when she told her son that she was gonna do it, she was like, I'm not quite ready yet. All my ducks aren't in a row. And when they were in a row, she was gone.
She's like, "No, no, let's do counseling. Let's do counseling." But
Counseling for what?
it would have been interesting to see if, that old dog could have learned new tricks.
Nah. Nah, he's a Messiah. He was all in that patriarchy life. Like
He
he didn't
was.
want her work. He was misogynistic as hell. So he was not changing. There was no old dog new tricks
And
there.
he was super controlling. He even told
Mm-hmm.
her how to dress, what
Mm-hmm.
designer she was to wear.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, really and truly, I only think she stayed married to him for so long because of the son. So once she saw the son was good and good, she started her exit plan, her
Yeah.
exit strategy.
But overall, yeah, and a previous problem with the line was I was like, oh, it's supposed to be like an offshoot of the Rock Chick series by Kristen Ashley. So I was like, where's all the action? But I feel like that's how it was sold to me as a Rock Chicks like extension.
Mm-hmm.
But the line really is like good on its own. It doesn't need like all that action again because the story of the girls individually are so good.
You're right.
So
I'm not gonna lie though.
all that action is just like extra noise. But
Not gonna lie, I might go back and reread one of them other Rocky books because we read Jet that long ago. So I
I
go back.
read the first Rock Chick book like last week. And what have I moved on to? Now I'm reading Dream Man. No, I read Dream Man. Now I'm on Wild Man. So I'm doing
You're doing the original trilogy first.
doing the original trilogy first.
Because that's Hawk's story, who is Axel's boss.
I mean, yeah, all of those like little sub series and main series that are connected with that whole Rock Chick series, the books are all like really good. And I'm sure I'll make my way back to the Chaos series after I'm like done with those. It's just like one circle. Like once you start with one, you find yourself rereading like all the books in this series.
That's true. Because they're good. What can I say?
They
She's a
are,
great author.
they're all it's a really good like story as a whole.
And I did enjoy Hattie's evolution outside of the whole forgiving the father thing. I did enjoy her evolution as she reflected on her decisions and really did have heart to heart with her friends. So they understood where she was coming from. I think part of the problem and probably why they reacted the way that they did was because they did not know. She never told them. So they all of a sudden they were just getting the cold shoulder. She was avoiding them, all this stuff, and they couldn't understand why. And that led to some of the anger on their side because they're like, we've been friends for how long? We've gone through so much together. Like,
But that also seems to be like a common theme with this series, anyways. It seems like they all are close friends, but they each don't really like know each other. So it's like when they each get their books, it's like they find out all these like personal like trials that they've individually like gone through that no one ever knew about.
Right. That's true.
Like nobody knew that Lottie was like this genius. Not Lottie. The other girl, the girl who's like the engineer girl, the computer.
The first one, I forgot.
The first one, I forget her name, but she was like this genius who like had this crappy, like sucking family. Yeah,
that was a good one too.
It was. And now we have Pepper coming up, and it seems that nobody like really like knows like her situation with her family and her child's father and whatnot.
Yeah, this was a wholehearted recommend for me. I would definitely give it a 4, mainly because it flew out of my head real quick and I had to go back and revisit it and think real hard about it. So it didn't last with me. Executioner's book with Sky, I could tell you what happened today. And I read that a while ago. But Dream Spinner was definitely, it was a good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really liked Hattie and Axl as characters. But I would definitely say that it was more forgettable than Executioner's book for me.
I'll give it a 4.5. Like it's definitely like my favorite book in the line so far. Even though we have one more book to go, and I feel like Pepper's story is going to be really good. And that's supposed to be called what? Dream.
Can't remember.
Cannot remember.
It comes out this year too, so
comes out later this year. So I'm really looking forward to what the last book is going to bring. Have any of you guys read the Rock Chick series by Kristen Ashley? If you have, let us know what your favorite book in this series was. And if you've read any other author's books that has like a similar like girl group gang going on, let us know what that is. Because, I'm always looking for a good series to start with like a close friendship like that. It was like fun from beginning to end.
Wholeheartedly agree. Who doesn't want a girl gang? Girl gang 100%.
Right? Cosmos and high heels. Also sounds like a good time.
And the plates. Don't forget the plates.
Yes, the boards.
The boards. Yeah, I want a board.
That is all today. Let us know when you author your reading as always. And have a good one.
Stay blessed.
Yeah.